I planted these 6 broccoli for the winter, and there are 2 varieties. Those 3 are called Romaso variety, and these 3 the variety called Masturi. These are broccolis, and I will be getting the harvest during December or January time. I'm going to sow some radish seeds directly in between them so that I'll have one harvest before the winter. These are the spring onions. I'm going to plant them in this cold frame. Hopefully I can harvest them during the winter. I have planted 8 modules of spring onions. Each module has got 3 or 4 seedlings, and this is the variety called Emilia. Actually, this is not a overwintering variety, but I'm trying first time whether it will survive or not. Unless you try, you wouldn't know. These are Indian coriander seedlings. I'm going to plant them, some of them at least, in this cold frame along with my brassicas and spring onions. And last year they managed to survive until December, and this year I don't know. Let's try and find out. I have now planted these coriander seedlings, 8 modules, Indian coriander, and each module has got 3 or 4 seedlings. I have given a plenty of gap in between so that I can sow some radish or some mooli, any of that soil. On 22nd of September, I'm sowing these radish and mooli in between these brassica plants, and also in between the coriander plants and the spring onions. And the varieties I'm sowing is Royal Purple, Cherry Belle, and Minnow Early Mooli radish variety. Mooli takes bit space, so I'm going to plant in here. The other radishes varieties I can plant anywhere between these plants. Now I have sown directly 1 row of mooli, which is white radish, and couple of rows of Royal Purple radish. I expect them to germinate in 4 to 5 days and 30 to 35 days to harvest, around 40 days in total, sowing date to the harvest date. This is my another cold frame. There were melons in this cold frame. I harvested them yesterday, and then I have dumped 6-year-old horse manure and cow manure together, 4 bags each, and I added, you can see the dark brown color, chicken pellets and fish blood bone, bone meal, Kaiserite, Indian turmeric powder, yellow powder, and neem tree leaf powder, dried leaf powder. These are all 100% organic fertilizers, and they are available for the plants in 6 months, not straight away. This is the time I prepare my beds and keep it ready for the next season. However, I don't want to keep these beds empty, so I'm going to plant some spring onions and coriander, and the other side I'm going to plant some spinach, winter spinach, something called winter giant spinach, and probably a couple of modules of perpetual spinach later this week. But the bed is ready, anytime I can plant them. After I added all these fertilizers, I have drenched the bed, literally took, this is around I would say 19 feet by 5 feet bed, 45 minutes of water drenching with the hose. So water basically went deep into the soil, and during the winter that particular deep water is useful for the roots of the plants. Even though you don't water every week or every 2 weeks, I generally water once in a month during the winter. So that's the reason why I completely drench the bed for 45 minutes after adding all those fertilizers. Here are the red spring onions or purple spring onions. I planted 12 modules in there. Each module has got a couple of seedlings. And the coriander on the left, 3 modules, and each module has got 4 or 5 seedlings. And in between my spring onions, I planted cherry belly radish seeds, directly sown, rather planted. And I'm expecting to harvest them in 40 days. And by the time these spring onions will get settled slowly along with this coriander, so during the winter I can harvest them. This side of the bed, cold frame, I have directly sown these 2, which is winter giant spinach and white Lisbon winter hardy spring onions. So I have sown 3 rows of spring onions and 2 rows of winter giant spinach. I don't know whether the winter giant spinach will germinate because the seeds are 2021 expired date, but there's nothing wrong in trying. Sometimes they might, sometimes they might not. These are the 2 different varieties of spinach. On the left hand side, this is called a Matador variety. On the right hand side, perpetual spinach. Every year, this time of the year, September end or October first week, I plant some of the spinach seedlings in my cold frame. These plants will see me through the winter, and today I will plant these in 2 rows. Hopefully they will survive like they did last few years and give me the harvest when I need. These are the salad leaves, mixed salad leaves, very crunchy and peppery, and I'm planting them in my cold frame. Last year also I planted different variety of the salads. They did survive, and I managed to harvest from December onwards. Let's see how it goes this year. These are the Matador spinach variety I planted here, and on the right hand side I planted 6 modules of salads, and those 2 are the perpetual spinach. I have lots of perpetual spinach outside, so I don't need them inside. That's why I haven't planted many. Hopefully these will see through my winter time, and I'll get at least weekly harvest, if not at least 10 days. Let's see how it goes.